KPMG, in collaboration with Forbes Insights, just wrapped up some pretty interesting research sort of identifying the journey companies are on this process of becoming a digital enterprise. So let's talk about the digital enterprise. How would you define it? What does it take to become one?
When we think about the digital enterprise, we think about it in a very holistic sense. We think about digital enterprise being everything from how do you engage with your customers or your consumers, all the way through to how do you enable the employee to bring to life the experience or the brand promise that you want to bring, all the way through to how do you enable the operations and change the way you actually do business through your organization and through your enterprise to actually satisfy that end customer goal and drive the business objectives that you have.
One of the things the research uncovers, and that we see every day in meeting these businesses, is that the gap between the haves and the have-nots, if you will, in this journey is large and growing larger. The companies that begin to think digitally, that solve problems in that digital way, solve those problems more quickly and often at a lower cost.
A little over a quarter of the respondents to the survey fell into the category that we would identify as transformative or really leaders in this category, the digital enterprise. Does it surprise you that only a quarter of this respondent base fall into that category?
I think it surprises me in only that I think people haven't also entirely wrapped their heads around what the digital business is and the digital enterprise and what's possible. You think back a few years ago, I doubt that automakers thought their largest competitor weren't going to make automobiles. They were going to instead lease automobiles in the car sharing business that's completely disrupting that market. And so I think many of these businesses are going to see as the haves really take off that they may be further behind than they expect.
When you look across industries as well, it varies wildly. So you see in a lot of financial services organizations that are really embracing digital. And you can see that split of the haves and the have-nots. Whereas in other organizations, you see this, they're very much adopting a fast follower rather than a leader. And by definition, if you're fast following, it's hard to be a leader.
What does it take to deliver a successful digital enterprise? What's the secret?
It starts with a clearly defined digital strategy that is very much aligned with the business strategy. So that's the starting point. Then what leading organizations are really understanding is if I then start to very rapidly test, deploy, understand the benefits, then optimize that through the use of deep customer data insights, and then refine and continually refine and evolve. Then they use that to better understand the possible returns on investment and then use that to scale up very quickly.
The research makes a direct connection between digital mobile and improved top-line results. Executives expect 15% or more of their revenues to come through digital channels.
I think what's interesting and unique about mobility in the digital landscape is that it's not only a disruptor, but it's an enabler of entirely new business models, which means new top-line growth opportunities. And that's really unique. So yes, mobility in particular is enabling these new business models that weren't possible before and adding to that top-line growth. And you start to bring those two together and you realize how powerful that can really be to the business.
So as we've seen, there's a compelling case for adopting digital and mobile. Why is there hesitancy from some companies for moving forward?
This is one of the keys to success, I think, which is organizations that have the maturity to fail, which is a hard thing for an organization to do. So it's a cultural change that needs to be led by the front, from the most senior leadership, to say it is okay for us to fail as long as we fail fast, we understand why we failed, and we don't make those same mistakes again.
Why is this moment in time different from any other moment in the evolution of digital technology?
What's different is how core to your business it is. And what an impact about how you do everything you do in delivering value to your customers.
It's key that both the executives all the way through the organization recognize this is a journey, not a destination. it was going to constantly evolve, and we're going to have to constantly tack as we go through this journey.
Time is of the essence, right? As we see the leaders here are really growing, they're growing their top line, they're attracting talent, and the time to act is now.